Dude, Roblox added ambient occlusion. It actually looks so good. Like, check this out. RTC recently tweeted news. HBAO, horizon-based ambient occlusion, was introduced once again, but this time it is most likely here to stay. Turn up your graphics to 10 to experience this feature. Here's an example of how it looks like on compared to off. Many YouTubers and devs love this change. And as you can see right here, it looks so much better when it's on than off. And I mean, Twitter makes everything look like trash anyways. But never minding the low quality, it actually looks amazing. Like in general, the shirt, behind the shadow, it's a lot less harsh, and you can see especially right here there's a lot more haze, which is exactly what you want. It doesn't make it look jagged and ugly. So I'm going to choose Jailbreak for this as the example, and I don't have the most powerful GPU, so it's going to be in 30 FPS, which doesn't affect the way it looks whatsoever. Like and subscribe, maybe we'll be able to get another one someday. But yeah, as you can see right here, we have it on, and it looks so good. If you don't really notice it, I'll turn it off to show you what that looks like. But if you look really closely, you can kind of see there's a bit more of a haze in the shadows, which is really nice. And in areas like this corner over here, that's not a good example because the model, but in areas like corners like right here and over there especially, you can see it gets darker, and that's ambient occlusion. From what I understand, ambient occlusion is basically when it takes it figures out how secluded a spot is and then applies a shadow to it based on that, without actually using a lot of processing power compared to real-time ray tracing, which requires a lot more. If you don't understand what any of that means, it's fine. But basically though, it's a really good way of adding cheap, effective lighting to a scene. And if we turn it off, it doesn't look as good. As you can see, it all kind of disappears. It looks more jagged. The shadows, there's still some, they're not super harsh, but it just doesn't really look the same. It looks less rendered. I don't really know how to describe it. If you look at my face, it's a good example right here. It looks like all one shade, but if we turn it back on, you can see the hat and the hair and the Xena on the side actually adds like shadows to right underneath my hat and where my chin would be of the Roblox avatar. So you can turn it off and on, off and on. I can show you what it looks like. So off, on, off, on. Like, it looks way better with it on, in my opinion, and just, it's a subtle detail, but it makes games look way better. Okay, so this area doesn't have a lot of lighting right here. You can kind of see it. If you look, pay close attention to the inside of the car. So it looks unnaturally lit. There aren't any shadows. Like, my feet are really bright, and in reality, they wouldn't be. But if I turn on ambient occlusion, it looks like there's a lot more shadows on the inside. Can you please stop driving? It looks like there's a lot of shadows on the inside of the vehicle, like my feet are a little bit darker. If I turn it off outside, you can't really see much of a difference with the terrain, but the inside of vehicles and single models like that, it really makes a huge difference. Like, especially with your Roblox avatar. Like, that right side of my face is less lit up, and if I turn it off, you don't get that at all. It's a little bit less lit up, but it's not as strong, and it just doesn't give it as much depth. Sorry if I'm going into too much detail about this, but if you look around the apartment right here by the door and on the corners, you can see there's a shadow there. And like, once you notice it, if it's not there, it gets really annoying. But you can see there's a shadow in the corners. If I turn off ambient occlusion, for some reason that's completely lit up by the lighting and there's no shadow. Like, it just doesn't have as much detail as before. Underneath this pool table really shouldn't be that lit up. It's underneath the table, right? If we turn it on, it's a lot darker around the corners, and it's not doing real-time ray tracing because that requires a really strong GPU. It's making some fast adjustments to corners and actually making it look a lot better. If you want more info on the technical side of ambient occlusion, like what exactly it is or how it works, I'll link a Linus Tech Tips video because I'm not really an expert on it, but they definitely are, so I'll link that in the description down below. Anyways, guys, I'm Bragon. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, maybe like and subscribe, and consider maybe buying membership because it really helped me out. And I'll keep trying to make news/commentary videos every single day. So yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys again next time.